All right, so some of us are struggling a little bit with subtraction, and so I want to talk about some strategies that you can use to solve some of these subtraction facts. So let's take a look at this one for an example, 134 minus 48. A lot of us instantly want to go to the traditional algorithm, so we start writing it something like this. And the part that we get hung up on is with the borrowing, because we haven't quite done a whole lot of borrowing yet with this. So today I want you to forget about this traditional algorithm here, and we're going to find a different way to solve this that might be a little easier for some of us. So one way to do this is with a number line. So if we draw a number line and we put the smaller number down here off to the left and the larger number over here to the right, and we can use a method called counting up, where we try to add numbers here to this 48 until we get over to 134. So what I tell my students is, let's figure out a good benchmark number. So with 48, I want to find numbers that are in the tens. So what can I add to 48 that gives me a nice even benchmark number? So let's add 2, because that will put me at 50, and 50 is a nice easy number to work with. Now from 50, I might want to go to the next big benchmark, which would probably be 100. So I think about, what do I need to add to 50 in order to get me to 100, and that would be another 50. Okay? Now you can see how easy it is to go from 100 to 134. So what would I do to this 100 down here to get to 134? I'm just going to add another 34. And then I'm pretty much done right now, because all I have to do is take this number, and this number, add them together, and I'll get my answer. So I may take 2 plus 50 is 52, and plus the 34 makes 86. So that's one way to figure out the answer to some of these subtraction problems. We don't always have to use a number line. We can find other ways of doing it. The number line is just great because it's a great way to kind of record your thinking when doing these. So here's another thing that we can try doing, is thinking about finding those benchmarks again and starting at 48 and counting up. What can I add to 48 that'll give me a benchmark? We talked about that would be 2, and that would give us 50. Now I'm going to start with my 50. What do I add to 50 to get to my next benchmark of 100? Another 50. And you can see that what I'm doing is I'm taking this number and I'm just dropping it right down here. So I'm going to do the same thing with this 100. I'm going to start it right here. So I've got 100. And what do I need to add to 100 to get to 134? I'm just going to add 34. And then all I'm doing is I'm adding these numbers again. So that's just another way to kind of track your thinking a little bit on these subtraction problems that we have right here. So that way we can avoid some of those traditional algorithm errors that we might get from forgetting to borrow from other numbers and stuff like that. So that's one method. That's the counting up method. We also have the counting backwards method that some students seem to like better than the counting up. We can do the same thing with the number line. And we start here with the lower number still, and go up here with our big number. And then same thing, we're just counting backwards this time. So our arrows go this way. We might subtract 34 to get to that benchmark of 100. I might see, what do I need to subtract again to get to 48? And I'm going to subtract 52, and then I just add these two numbers up to get my 86. So that's another great way to do it. And I'm going to show you one last technique that's a lot like that one for counting up, but this time I'm going to do my number line. However, I'm not going to put my end down here, the 48, what I am going to do is I'm going to start with my 134 here, and then I'm going to subtract chunks of this number off of 134 with my number line. So what I'm going to do is think about subtracting 34 to get my 100. Now if I subtract 34 from this 48, I have to think about, okay, if I've got this 48 and I took off 34 of it, then I've still got 14 more left over. So I might subtract maybe another 10 over here to get me to 90. And then from 90, I might subtract another 4, and that would put me at 86. So you can see that these numbers here, these three, what I've done is just broken apart my 48. And what might even be easier for some people is to forget the benchmarks that we've got down here when we do this, and think about breaking apart my 48 here into maybe 10s and 1s, and thinking, okay, if I take 40 from this 134, then I'm going to be down here at 94. So if I subtract the 40 that I broke apart here, then I get down to 94. And then I can subtract this 8 that we've got here from 94 to get my 86. So there's a couple methods right there on doing subtraction. Like I said, there's lots of different ways to do it. I find that the counting up method seems to work the best for me, but that's me, and you can choose what other method you think is easier for you.